Hello there, this is Dango 1867. Are you all feeling alright today? Because I am tickety boo. And today the bit of Black Ops 2 PDW, my swarm getting class of choice, taking down a few bad guys here. This is, I think, was my it's quite an old gameplay. It was my second double swarm I ever got. The first one actually just crashed out just after getting the actual second swarm. So I haven't actually used that video. It was also on carrier and a little bit campy. To be honest, I tend to camp a little bit more on when going for high score streaks on carrier, but that's not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is something that might sound a little controversial, especially coming from someone who's, I'll be honest, I've not really been as active of late, but it is something that I've been thinking about for a good while, and that is growing on YouTube. What I really mean is it actually down to how good you are at making videos, how good your content is, or is it purely about timing and who you know? Now, this is not a dig at anyone or any channels, but when I first started watching YouTube videos, well, the big channels that were out there were pretty much the channels that had first started making the videos. There weren't many channels around making gaming vids at the time that these guys started out. And that's not saying these guys are all crap. It's definitely not. But there are a few of them who probably aren't as good as a lot of the guys who've come through since. And a lot of these guys are still struggling now to sort of make the way. So I'm just thinking, what do you guys think? Is it about timing? Does the timing of when you actually put your channel out or what sort of content you put on your channel actually make a massive difference, or will your actual true content shine through? Will the fact that you are a really good commentator or an amazing gamer, will that go through against someone who basically just put out a video at the right time, just as maybe a game was breaking, or like I say, a lot of the actual older YouTube channels that are absolutely massive now, these guys were basically, they got big because at the end of the day there was no competition for a lot of them, and they're still pretty big now. So is it timing, or is it ability, or is it a little bit of both? Like I say, it's just one of those things that I've been doing this a while now, and I've seen some really, that's a lot of reallys, really good channels disappear, and just because they'd put a lot of effort in, they'd put a hell of a lot of time, and let's be honest, it's not a cheap hobby when you have to buy some of the equipment, especially capture devices. A lot of people have to upgrade PCs to actually get the actual editing software to work, so it's not a cheap hobby. And some really good channels. I'm not going to list them. I'm not going to bring any names into this. This is not me being a bitch or having a little hissy fit. This is not about me personally. It's just I've seen a lot of good channels who, in my opinion, should have and probably could have with the right help blow up, but they didn't. They lost the sort of the will to keep going. The fact is, it's always a hobby, and I get that. But when you see channels out there that whose content is pretty average, it's who've got 10 bloody thousand million subs or whatever and getting views just because they're just reposting videos from bloody E3 and stuff like that. It's annoying. For myself personally, I find it annoying. I'm not bothered about blowing up. It's never going to happen to my channel either. So I accept that. I'm really happy I've actually made it to partnership status with an actual network that I actually want to be with. So I'm really proud of that. And that, for me, that's good enough. I've got more things going on in my life that will always take the actual my time than this. But I also know there's a lot of people who put a hell of a lot of effort and never got where I've got, and had to quit because just basically they just got sick of not being able to actually get out there. So does it help that we are, as a community, we all try to help, but it only seems that if you're a certain size channel that it can make a difference. Let's be honest, I've been doing this over a year. I'm about 800 subs, which is nothing on the actual grand scheme of things. The best thing that's ever happened to my channel was when a friend of mine got me in touch with the actual guys from Yaush, and Gnarly Rick and Chaos Silencer said my channel was good enough to be partnered on the content alone, let alone the actual fact that I've not even got to the actual levels of subscribers and views it needed, which is the best compliment I think I've ever had while doing YouTube. And I feel bad because there's guys I've seen and girls who've had to just pack it in because they never got that same sort of recognition. And that's all it takes, just a big channel out there, or someone who knows what they're doing, who's been in the game a while, giving you that little help. And to be honest, it doesn't happen enough. It does happen occasionally. I've seen some amazing guys go from a couple of hundred subs up to thousands of subs, because when it does happen, it does seem to be that you'll get one big channel giving you a hand, and then another big channel will see that and then go, oh, he is good, and then they'll give you a hand, and it blows up from there. And but sadly, it just doesn't happen enough. It really doesn't. There's some amazing channels that go unnoticed for years until they've just had enough. And for me, it's just really sad to see that people have put effort in, the time, and they've got real quality content. They don't not just rehashing news or rehashing an advert or something else they've seen on Twitter and putting it out as if it's their own thing and just start saying, "Oh, this is my opinion on it." That's not actually that entertaining. People who've actually got creative ideas and have got unique channels and they actually put a lot of effort in don't ever get near the actual levels they should do. So I just want to hear your opinions. It is quite a deep and meaningful one. I'm not hating on anyone. YouTube is what it is. So that's the end of this little mini rant. Give me your opinions. I'll catch you all later, guys.